Peace and blessings, family. This is your boy Gerald. It is Saturday, 18th, February 2017. How are you doing? So, starting my day, and a thought crossed my mind. But before I go into it, let me first, I would be remiss not to include this. I hope you are well. I hope that you are able to maximize this weekend wherever you are by sidestepping the negativity or grounding your feet by speaking the truth. But of course, most of all, placing God first in everything you do. So I just woke up not too long ago. So I look a little raggedy, but that's okay because I'm okay with that. It doesn't change the passion of how what I wish to convey. So don't get caught up on the messenger. But I do hope that you get caught up on the message. You ever you ever thought about these last 5 years, um, the commonality of you seeing more and more social outbursts going on, and you ever thought, why is it that we cannot apply that same vigor and focus on ourselves? We're doing all this protesting, but we're not giving that same energy to ourselves. We are giving public illustration of a position, but yet we refuse to validate our self-worth. Why is there such a contradiction, family? Why is it that it is more easier to be included in a social psyop, because that is nothing more than what it is, than to see and protect your self-worth, your respect, your character, your dignity, your moral compass? Why does that take a back seat? I've echoed this time and time again. If I had the pleasure to know what I know now, 30 years ago, or better yet, if I had had the courage to embrace what I already knew 35 years ago, without a doubt, I would be a very, very wealthy man. And so, why do you say that, Gerald? Because I saw things climate wise that have all come to pass. And as I mentioned to you before, family, if you are under the age of 35, heed the word of a brother. You don't know you yet. It is very important and very imperative that you invest protect, and empower you. But see what's going on right now, family, millennials, you don't realize it, but you are repeating history on a social platform. And really is nothing but one giant ritual. All the nuances are there. It is like one big play being reenacted. You might as well be acting one of Shakespeare's great theatrics. Same thing is playing out over and over and over and over again. And who does it benefit? Not you. And the reason for that is because you refuse to look within yourself. You refuse. Let me throw this disclaimer. I don't know if you can hear this or it'll show up on the video. I'm actually doing laundry, and I guess the cycle is unbalanced. Okay, there you go. Now, there you go. All right, anyway. But this is nothing but a weak attempt to socially radicalize the way you think by way of neglect and non-accountability. So yesterday, they had the Day Without Immigrants. And they were like, well, we'll show society we're just not going to have the immigrants around. Okay. But nobody put in consideration that, guess what? Who benefited from that? Stores like Walmart and stores that were open. You didn't realize that you were possibly giving your business or customer loyalty to your competition. Because when it comes to commerce, commerce is genderless. It is classless. Therefore, there is no accountability there, or it is nothing but a tool. But they don't tell you that. Meanwhile, while your convictions may have been strong, mega stores were still making hand over fist, because if the bodega ain't open, well, we're gonna go to what is. That's basic business 101. Goods and services. If you can't provide a service, well, they're gonna go where the goods are. So that was feudal. Now they're turning around and saying, well, we're gonna have a day without women. I'm gonna tell you what, if you're gonna have a position about something and you feel passionate about something, why won't you stand on it? And to stand on it, that means you have to take accountability from that position, unless it's not authentic. So now they're gearing up, and some of the media is already subtly talking about it. And then I heard this. Well, it's open to everybody. Isn't it supposed to be a day? The march is supposed to be a day without women. So aren't you? So that right there tells you right there who is the main body underneath protest, feminist movement. And if you feel so passionately about your referendums, why are you opening it? Why are you opening up for everyone to attend? Because the truth of the matter is, you know it won't get the support that you hope. But the truth of the matter is, it will get you the attention that you crave. Oh, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that attention because the main people that you're trying to lift your voices to, they're laughing at you. They're laughing every time you pick that damn sign up, every time you willfully put yourself in harm's way, every time you choose to not see how precious your life is. In their mind, they're checking a box off. Remember, I used the term labyrinth and the mouse. Remember, I used that term. And you think that no one is taking account of what is trying to be orchestrated, but yet in the back, there's mumblings of, well, you know, they're trying to implement martial law. What is martial law? It is because it is because the government and community is broken down and controlled by the powers that be. It is a tactic to suppress. You can't suppress nobody that doesn't want to be suppressed. And the likelihood of that or even occurring, if you could only just be honest with yourself to invest in yourself and see your value and worth to sidestep the negative. But see, let's go a little deeper. So they want a bigger participation, but the march is supposed to be a day without women. Well, it wasn't. They didn't say it was going to be in March, but you know it's going to be one. All the way back to when the suffrage movement began and the tactics and strategies that were attempted then. But what happened to those who embraced that? They became your mothers. They became the wives. They eventually picked up their ball from the playground and went back home. Don't y'all see the illustration through protesting? I keep telling you, protesting is nothing but a giant ritual, because it's also a living example of this. Misery loves company. Why do you not see that? And where misery is, depression's not too far from it. Nor is pain, nor is non-accountability. How about preservation of your life? So you can't change something if you won't take accountability. How about to at least acknowledge what exists? Meanwhile, there are people that look just like you. Oh, do not, please do not think that is not the case. There are people just like you somewhere with a smirk on their face saying, how can they be so naive? And these are some of the people that you look up to. These are the same people that you would say, well, you say one thing, but your actions say another. Why didn't you step in? Because there was no financial gain in it. And that's what got them there to begin with. But yet you don't see that. So hence the term sheeple, because whoever's leading the flock is also that is leading you to your destruction. That's why a lot of people don't realize that. Until you decide to stop playing with your life, you are ushering that into your life. Take a good look at that. Until you decide to have the courage to love you, you're bringing that one step closer, because we do not know the time nor the moment. But what is evident is that it will come to pass. So if you don't value you, your existence is in vain. But let's look at it on a different note, because it's like a friendly game of baseball. And the agenda has been up to bat twice. And they are changing tactics and lining themselves up to take influence of the political realm. Oh, yes. So it doesn't make any, it kind of makes sense to covertly say, well, hey, this is what I represent. But come on along for the ride. And when you break it down by demographics, you will also come to see the support or lack thereof. At the end of the day, you've got to question who is the pawn and who is the predator. Question is when? When you gonna do that? If this is not working for you, why do you entertain it? Why won't you be honest and at the minimum say, you know what, I deserve better, and I have to acknowledge that this is not good because what is being shown doesn't make me feel safe. You don't hear that. And really, what is going on now is nothing but a social lynch mob without the rope. But economically, they're cutting you off. Economically, they are dividing you from what you need. But think about it. It's like chess, family. If you're focusing on that and not the things that you need to focus on, who's guarding the back door if you're constantly looking out the window? I know it's getting on my nerves too. It really is. So somebody had pointed that out and said, yeah, they read the mission statement and everything. But you know what I didn't see? What I didn't hear in that? I didn't because I know there are gonna be some people gonna say, oh Joe, you just being passive aggressive. No, I love you, Queen. I always have. I'm one of the good ones. But I also see that you are angry, but yet your tactic will not give you the result that you desire until you decide to love you. Maybe that's why you want to secretly be me because you think that if you are me, you can make things different. But in actuality, you'll come to understand you don't want to live the life of a man. It's too painful, too much risk. And that's the truth because you literally live your life walking blind until you discern it. Who am I talking to? So, with that being said, this also let me see this too. You guys do also have to acknowledge that God's not in none of this, right? Hmm? God's nowhere in this, not one bit. And if you were to take a census, just a litmus of the crowd, I guarantee you, you will be disappointed because majority of them do not have a relationship with themselves. They're influenced by their environment. So therefore, there was some covert tactics going on to persuade the impressionable. You still think that because of people, you do understand that money has influence. You also understand that without that as a tool, you would not have what you have. Because the end goal is to sway what? That perception. So now they're gearing up with getting people to go along. And unfortunately, there are going to be many that are going to be deceived. There are going to be many that are going to be writing checks that, that their asses cannot cash and their lives are not built for, because that is not the direction that they were intended to go on beginning. So they're going to go through some stuff that's going to cause them to actually question everything. But I pray for them. I pray for them because this whole thing is nothing but a modern day Trojan horse. Think about it. The platform is a day without women, but you're asking for full participation. So who's gonna be there? Right off the bat, people that do not represent you, people that only want to cause turmoil. Now I got a problem with that because there's gonna be a whole lot of females out there. There they are. And then they're gonna have a whole lot of people that suffer from mental illness and those who actually believe their own. Okay, I got to throw the disclaimer out there. Disclaimer: there's gonna be a whole lot of people out there on some bullshit only to cause you in pain. There's gonna be some people getting hurt. Got a problem with that because there's still women. It's gonna be somebody's daughter, somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother. And I guarantee you it's gonna play out. It's not gonna be a good look. And embodied in that will be a whole lot of feminists. As well, you will see the alphabet people and everybody else. But what you won't see is God ain't there. So it's not gonna, you're gonna hear a whole lot of, you're gonna hear a whole lot of voices. Because they, what's the point on trying to have a national platform if you don't have media attention? So you know the media is gonna be there. They've been caught red-handed. Even some of the photographers have been caught on camera trying to incite. Yeah, I need to get that shot. Yeah, got to get that action shot. So we already know the authority's going to be there. But what won't be there? Who won't be there? The Holy Spirit won't be there. So we can easily say there are going to be people that are going to take that opportunity to cause bodily harm, cause destruction, cause turmoil, cause embarrassment. And you know what that happen? What benefits from that? Now, while you're doing that, there are referendums put in place to restrict your point of view. How about your freedom, civil liberties? Because we can easily say, well, I got a right to assemble, Gerald. You do. Freedom of speech, Gerald. Yes. Freedom of the press, y'all. Yes. But no one's giving accountability or taking an account for what we are leaving our children. No. So what's sad is some are gonna look at that as, hey, that's a day off for me and take this leave. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there's gonna be some they're not gonna have anything to come back to because it's gonna cost them their job. I'm just because it's gonna play out that way. If you're so angry, why won't you find comfort in expressing what you're really angry about? And I bet you a nickel to a dime, it stems all the way to your childhood. It stems all the way to about the choices you made that you're not yet. And that's the real reason. Because you feel violated. And that may be the case. But until you decide to love yourself, he can't protect you unless you see your worth first, right? But Gerald, that's strength in numbers. At the end of the day, it's your life. They don't care about you because they don't care about themselves. And the same tactics that they running is the same tactics that Steve used to do, huh? A lot of y'all going through that right now because y'all jumped the fence thinking it'll be all glamorous, and it ain't that. It costs you far more than the investment, and you feel lost. You're not lost. You just gotta be willing to love yourself, to come back home to you. But Gerald, my girlfriend got a girlfriend, man. Well, that ain't your girlfriend. It never was. That was just a person taking up your space, your time, having access to your money, but did not have loyalty to herself because you didn't have loyalty to you. He set the example, family. We teach people how we wish to be treated. So they just appointed a new head of the EPA, and I found it was surprising that one of the oldest men's clubs out in the Midwest, West Coast, called the Sierra Club, took up the position or the banner for for women's rights, for equality. Mm-hmm. I said, don't you really? Don't you realize what's going on? These old heads, what they are. They're finally taking the mask off because there was a lot of, yeah. Get a chance. There's an interview that Tucker Carlson, I think he's on Fox, very left guy. He did an interview with the head of the Sierra Club. Well, he's not the head, he's the mouthpiece. Everything he talked about had nothing to do with the EPA. Nothing. I'm like, fixes in. Fixes in. Which goes back to this, family. You want change in your community? It starts with yourself first. And if you want to raise the voice so that it is heard, it is always found in your city council. You put them butts in them seats. So it's important that you vote. And if you don't vote, you don't complain. It's just bottom line. So the real question should be asked is this. While you out there marching and raising your voice, who's doing that for you? Who's speaking for your empowerment? Who's looking to protect you? Who's seeing that your agenda, how about your character, how about your integrity is being exhibited? We are what we attract, family. So when you see it, you know why. God ain't in that. He never was. And until man can humble himself, that ain't nothing but the Jezebel spirit incarnated. You do understand that, right? That's what the Jezebel spirit does. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. But that's okay though. This spiritual battle has been going on since the beginning of time. And the intended time, I ain't got to tell you, some of y'all know, you eventually will be made a believer yourself. I ain't got to tell you that. You seen those things in your dreams. You having these occurrences you can't explain. God's trying to talk to you. The real question is, when you going to listen? When you going to love yourself more? Because until you do, you're just part of the sheep. Underlyingly, don't even realize you're being led from yourself to slaughter. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. You guys are with. No one knows the time nor the moment. You better love yourself because what's at stake is bigger than your purpose. It's the protection of your legacy. Be blessed.